If you've ever dreamed of looting gear, tons of them, and just pretending your phone is a console, welcome, because mobile action RPGs are basically Diablo-like, Souls-like, but hey, now your thumbs hurt instead of your back. Today we're diving deep into blood, sweat, and action RPGs that make you feel hardcore without leaving your couch. Now first of all, even though we mentioned this game before, Ymir just dropped on mobile a few days ago, and it's already one of the most funny RPGs we've played in quite a while. It's like a mix of Diablo and Monster Hunter, but then even smoother. Plus, the combat's like Souls-like hard with hints of Hades. So the game's just basically got all the great qualities of this genre. Boss fights actually make you think, dodging at the right time feels super satisfying, and on top of that, the class system's just insane. You can mix skills and classes. Look, loot changes how you play, so you actually get the benefit of your experience. The game's visuals are just great, soundtrack really nails the vibe, and overall it's the kind of game you get lost in within minutes.
There's beasties to shoot and work to be done. You can do this alone.
Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is finally tunneling its way to Android and iOS this November. We've already said this game is a long time coming, and instead of the usual co-op, this game is a solo roguelike run where you step into one of these space dwarves digging deep into the roots of the planet. The enemies come in swarms and your weapons fire automatically as you focus on surviving, mining minerals, and pushing deeper into the underground. So it's not just entirely an ARPG, but rather an arcade roguelike. Either way, it's right up there with Diablo. It's fast, addictive, and just dripping with bliss. Lord 9 Infinite class just went global, hitting that serious deep action RPG spot. The star here is the Infinite class system, letting you mix and match over 60 classes and 50 abilities to craft your own unique combat style. Cross-platform here means your grind flows seamlessly between PC and mobile no matter where you're at. This game's already a beast in Korea and Taiwan with over 4 million players online, topping charts and winning awards. Plus, a global marketplace lets you trade across regions, adding fresh layers to the economy. If you want an action RPG dope, this is it. Bloodline Rebel Moon game is basically Diablo in space, like if Zack Snyder directed it. Yeah. It's a mobile only and it's locked behind a Netflix subscription, but hear us out. This is a top-down co-op action RPG that lets you pick a class, squad up and wreck Imperium troops across this war-torn planet called Crypt. Combat hits hard, and the story actually ties into Snyder's Rebel Moon lore itself, meaning it's not just some cheap tie-in. Snyder and super evil Megacorp actually put real heart into the game. If you like looting gear, stacking builds, and blowing up robots with friends on the go, this might surprise you. Think Hades meets Star Wars with attitude. Legend of Ymir, on the other hand, is finally heading west, with global pre-registrations now open and over 2 million sign-ups on just the Play Store. First of all, this is a Web3 MMO action RPG that introduces players their own servers, letting gamers run their own world or team up with streamers to host these different events. PvP actually takes center stage with server battles where top servers advance to a cup and winners earn real world rewards like Wemix and even Bitcoin. This game is like combining classic MMORPG exploration with blockchain powered ownership. Suffice it to say, Legend of Ymir is shaping up to offer more than action, but both strategy and community driven qualities. Blade and Soul Heroes just launched worldwide, although this is not entirely an action RPG with Diablo-like. It is kicking things off as a full sequel to the original MMO. It's been out for days and already surpassed millions of downloads on only mobiles. Plus, you start with a roster of over 40 heroes, some fresh, some fan favorites, and each one's got something unique too. What makes this game really stand out though is the dual combat system, meaning you're not locked into just one style. You can dodge and party in real-time fights, then flip to turn-based for story chapters or PvP. It's also got cross-platform support, sharing stuff across your squad in the middle battle, and also streamlined pacing that make it way smoother than before. The first expansion is already coming out in about 2 days. Going down to number 7, Punishing Grey Raven is like the ultimate mobile action RPG that you've been waiting for like your whole life. Especially if prior to this game, nothing has interested you in this genre. This game's combat is responsive, and time and make every fight feel like an orgasm. And like each construct in this game has a clear role. Energy and resources are manageable, so you can grind without feeling forced to spend, and missions push you to learn and adapt, which really keeps the whole game fresh and interesting. It's just action RPG done right with the right amount of quality. Controls are tight, performance is smooth, it's just pure skill-based mobile action at its peak. Give it a shot. Up next at number 8 we have Raven 2, Netmarble's dark fantasy MMORPG, and it looks like it's coming in very wild. You can clearly see in the latest showcase, because developers showed us some massive boss fights that take like whole squads to bring down, and think of it like classic MMO raids but then darker, nastier, and designed for, to just mess with solo players. You've got 8 classes to pick from, 5 kingdoms all packed with quests, and also crossplay, so it doesn't matter what platforms you're playing on. Plus, pre-registrations get you exclusive loot, so it really does worth checking in early. This game is about 13 gigabytes in size. The 7 Deadly Sins region finally locked in a release date, and it is coming in fully globally on January 28 next year. We're only mentioning this game because it's one of the biggest games of this whole topic, especially since a few days ago, and the latest trailer showed off just how far the series is leveled up, with Unreal Engine 5 making the game's world looking massive and just simply stunning. You're climbing cliffs, gliding across rivers, and even diving into some multiverse twists that really shake up the story for both newcomers and the fans. Combat's pretty sharp, so real-time action, elemental combos, and tag mechanics to swap characters in the middle of battle. On top of that, most importantly, pre-registrations are already live, and a closed beta coming in soon. Origins is shaping up as one of the biggest RPG launches of mobile next year. Journey of Monarch is another mobile RPG you've been waiting for if you're tired of samey fantasy titles. This game's combat is, first of all, a chef's kiss, and every encounter rewards timing and strategy. Your Monarch and companions each have distinct abilities, and even early characters can hold their own if you play smart. Energy and resources are fair, so you can explore and grind without feeling pressured. Missions and battles push you to adapt, keeping things interesting, and the cel-shaded visuals really make the game's world pop, giving the whole thing a crisp feel. The performance is solid, it's just polished, engaging mobile RPG fun done right. Coming up behind that at number 11 we have Toroa, which is a roguelike dungeon crawler where up to 15 players can jump in. But you usually team up in squads of 3 to survive your enemies, that's how it works. And sometimes, well, you actually gotta have to fight your own teammates. You get to pick from 4 type of weapons and characters: swordmans, mace, bow, and staff, and every run is different because of the dungeon's layouts and its hazards change. The game's quick customization lets you tweak your hunter's look, while risk versus reward progression keeps every run tense. It's a pretty unpredictable game, it's exciting and a must-play if you love tense, strategic dungeon adventures. It's out now on Android and iOS, with in-app purchases only. Going down to number 12, we have Halls of Torment. It's a roguelike RPG that feels like, Diablo and Vampire Survivors got tossed into a blender, then pureed into one furious mobile dungeon crawler. In the game, you'll guide your adventure through these hordes of enemies, slicing them, spellcasting and dodging in these fast 6 to 5 minute matches that will never feel repetitive. Hundreds of skills, gear upgrades, quests do keep everyone fresh, while gems and build options let you experiment with strategies that actually matter. It's hack and slash meets roguelike bullet haven, but you're not just watching numbers go up, you're in the thick of the combat. Halls of Torment is out now on Android and iOS for free. Moving down to number 13, we have Katana Dragon, and it's not an action RPG, it's not a Diablo-like. Of course, it is a action adventure, but it really does worth mention, and it does follow the same formula. Because it's an old school Ninja Gaiden style thing, and at the same time it kind of blends Zelda type exploration with like the Ninja Gaiden flair. The game is overall set in a Japanese world where you play as these two characters, two ninjas on a quest to lift a curse. The game isn't voxel based, it's just packed with puzzles and enemies and obstacles all tackled through these classic shinobi skills. And as you go forward, you can actually upgrade your abilities like an action RPG. You can dash, clone, and slice your way forward through any obstacle you have. And it's got all the Japanese charm too, like the cherry blossoms, katanas, and martial art techniques. It's a very stylish action RPG adventure that captures the thrill of being a warrior. Going down to number 14, we have Rohan 2. This game just launched and it is hitting all the nostalgia buttons for classic RPG fans. Plus, the world looks just amazing, with graphics and effects that actually make you stop and stare at things. It's got a solid combat, the PvP is crazy fun, but one-on-one duels really do keep it fresh, and it's got these one-on-one huge open field battles where skill is what really matters. You've got a guild that makes a huge difference, running quests together with friends feels quite rewarding, and the strategy elements actually keep you thinking. It's the kind of MMORPG you can sink hours into without even noticing. Available on Android and iOS and about 3 GB in size. Give it a shot. Coming up behind that at number 15, it is Kingdom Flames of War. Taking action MMORPG to like next level with a massive 300 versus 300 siege system, and then an open world built for non-stop action. The rest is just history. You choose a path as a knight, strike as an assassin, rain arrows as a ranger, or just go Gandalf. Every class can transform and grow stronger, shaping the outcome of the story. The cool thing is it is actually powered by the Ray engine, so it runs with like no loading in most parts. Then add pets, crafting, trading, and global service. This is definitely a wholesome time eater. It's out now on Android and iOS. Coming in at number 16, it is Crashlands 2. It's a survival RPG and was picking up where Flux and Juicebox left off in the first game, and it really keeps the series a charm while upgrading the visuals with like cel-shaded, colorful environments that really look great. It's just one hell of a mobile game that plays with the controller. Also, crafting now leans on building bonds with locals, which unlocks new recipes, gear, and tools as well. The combat in the game is just tense, it's fair though, the day and night cycle makes exploration feel fresh, and the mix of survival, crafting, and light story will keep you engaged on short and also long sessions. This is an offline game, but paid, so keep it in mind. Number 17, it's just a quick mention over here because Wuthering Waves just hit a big milestone. Version 2.3 is now live and it's finally launched on Steam as well. There's a new companion system, new events, new characters. You're also going to be dealing with some new challenges that are going to be running until Halloween. Wuthering Waves is and has always been one of the greatest action RPGs on mobile. It is one of the biggest mobile games on the platform, roughly 40 gigabytes plus, and also it's now the 4th most grossing action game of 2025 on the Play Store. We didn't get a sponsorship for this, but it is possibly one of the best games in the list. And lastly, we just like to give a quick honorable mention here since it's still in the making. This game, Where Winds Meet, just dropped a new trailer, and the game's still looking amazing, even better. It's a game of Souls-like, some fast, fluid, and Chinese flair, basically swordplay done right all over. Because NetEase and Everstone, in fact, NetEase is planning seasonal updates for the game, adding new regions, characters, and gameplay twists every 3 months to keep it fresh. Like you're gonna be deciding if your swordman walks the righteous path or lives for themselves. All while diving into an open world inspired by the Northern Song Dynasty, which is something we haven't seen that much of. This game is definitely shaping up to be something to watch this November.